Inside Out 2 is a boon for the box office and a win for Disney. Why then is the stock continuing to slide down? Well, folks, we're here to tell you it's all about theme parks and a storyline the mainstream media simply isn't telling you. It's a big one. Stay tuned. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the channel that is changing hearts and minds simply by telling you the information you need to know. And today we're showing you why the stock is slowly going down yet again. Take a look at this. Folks, we are now, over the past month, down 5.8%, rounded up to 5.9% for the Walt Disney Company. And this is in spite of a box office that should be reassuring investors that the company has found the magic again. So what is it that is tanking everything that should be going well with this company? Well, what if we told you, folks, what if we told you that there's something going on beyond the box office, beyond the merchandise? Folks, what if we told you that the reality is it looks like the Disney stock is highly tied to theme park failures. And because the theme parks account for a huge amount of the Disney profits the company receives, a huge percentage of the revenues, when those theme parks fail, and when that's not told to investors very well, they're left out in the dark. Let's show you now what we're talking about. This, folks, is an article out of Forbes by Caroline Reed from 3 days ago. It's primarily about Disney in Tokyo, which is owned by the Oriental Land Company, and Disney licenses there. But I'm here to tell you that I think, Caroline, there's a bigger story, and we love Caroline Reed, by the way. She's a fantastic author. But we think there's a bigger story here that needs to be entertained, and we'll show you how we believe you cannot separate the international parks from the domestic parks, that they are in twain. Here we go. The Disney theme park complex that has lost $16 billion of its value this year is the story by Caroline. It says for the past 3 years, Disney's theme parks have cast a powerful spell on its bottom line. As the pandemic receded, guests streamed through their turnstiles flush with furlough cash and a pent-up demand to travel. Many of Disney's resorts hit new highs, but one was not so lucky. Now, as we continue, I want to remind folks, too, that what we've said is that while we saw this huge explosion of revenues in 2021 for the Walt Disney World Resort, which accounts for 1/3 of all the revenues the company acquires, we have seen guests tire greatly of the exorbitant amounts of money that are separated from them and their wallets once they move through those turnstiles. And so I would suggest to you that as we read this about Tokyo, that Walt Disney World Resort is not far behind what is happening to Tokyo. I want to posit that, and you see what you think about it. I'm going to go to an article in a minute about Disney World, but hang tight. Few countries suffered from the pandemic for as long as Japan, and by that, Caroline means that Japan had very strict rules in place longer than any other country, almost. Its location on an island initially protected it, but tourism nosedived as most of the world couldn't travel there during the lockdown. Again, that was the choice of the Japanese, and in hindsight, we have more knowledge now, so we can't condemn necessarily Japan. Some of you out there might. I can't as an entertainment analyst. You all, if you are knowledgeable in the medical area, I'm sure you can. And privately, I hold my own opinions about so much of this and hold them strongly. But as an entertainment analyst, I need to stay in my lane. Few countries suffered. You get the paragraph. The tourism industry had to try and attract foreign travelers again after the dial had been reset. That's a euphemism for once they went back to normal. As they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, so it's perhaps no surprise that one of the most badly bruised businesses was Tokyo Disney Resort, Japan's most visited theme park complex. 500-acre site on the outskirts of Tokyo is the only Disney-branded resort in the world which isn't owned or operated by the Walt Disney Company. Instead, it is owned and run by the Oriental Land Company. Now, OLC contracts with Disney's Imagineering and all of that. You all understand that. The bottom line is, and I want you all to go read this article. It's a fantastic article that talks about some of the mistakes that were made. They're not exactly the same as the mistakes made at Disney World, but they're similar enough. Bottom line, $16 billion of loss there. And folks, I'm here to tell you that if you think it's just Tokyo that's going to experience this, think again. I've got news breaking right now. We talked before about this issue that Disney is having with their Disney World theme parks and resorts and hotels this summer. We've shown you the data. We've, I think, conclusively shown that attendance is bad. Well, folks, we've got reporters on the ground today, and we've been all around Disney World theme parks today, and I'm telling you, outside of the Magic Kingdom, which has extended hours, and therefore lots of resort guests are there to get those extended hours, the other parks are empty. There's nobody there. In fact, we're showing you video from today just so you can see how empty the park is. Take a look. This is an article out of thatparkplace.com by Marvin. Walt Disney World Resort deserted for 4th of July celebrations. For decades, Walt Disney World has been a premier location for Americans from all 50 states to celebrate the nation's founding on the 4th of July. It's known to Disney veterans as one of the busiest days of the year, with shoulder-to-shoulder traffic crowding the entirety of Main Street, USA. But times, they are a-changin'. And folks, I'll tell you, too, if some of you are interested in the Country Bear Jamboree changes, I got to say, I think this is another one of those situations where, from a technical standpoint and from the vocal standpoints, it's fine. It's great. It's good. But the idea that you're taking out all the original stuff and replacing it with a Disney music sing-along, this company is bereft of originality. It's a real problem, and I think it's driving attendance down. But I also think all of the difficulties that have happened, and we could go to Japan and read what Caroline has to say about these lottery systems they have for their attractions and all this. But the same is true in Disney World. It's just a different flavor of it. Folks, I'm here to tell you, at Magic Kingdom today, both Tron and Tiana's Bayou Adventure were down for huge chunks of the day, still are. And guess what that means? That means that if you paid all that money for those virtual queues, or if you got up early and got in there and tried to get in that virtual queue, or you paid your Genie Plus or whatever it is, you're out. There's no solution for that. When all the virtual queues go down, that's just you losing out. And so it's a real problem. I'm telling you, the Japanese system is largely adopted in Florida, and it's not good. But 4th of July 2024 was a far different experience. Continuing with the article, the parks were downright empty, seeing less of a surge and more of a sprinkle of humanity meandering down a sparsely decorated Main Street for a fireworks show that was just a little over 7 minutes in length. Now, take a look at these wait times. These are literally straight out of July 4th. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. I mean, Kilimanjaro Safari is at 5 minutes. That is walk on. That means you just walk on and you get to go to the biggest attraction at Disney World in terms of size. 5 minutes. Look at that. Continuing down, you can see that later in the day we did get to an hour on the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. That's good, but you've got nothing compared to. Listen, folks, I'm telling you, when it comes to July 4th and what the wait time should be, you're talking about 2-hour waits for some of the biggest rides, because it should be a sea of humanity. It is the world's vacation destination, the Vacation Kingdom. But nobody was coming to the Vacation Kingdom this year. And I'm here to tell you, too, there's something to pay close attention to. And that is that it's getting worse. You can see by watching this video. You can see by watching these clips that we took from today. There's nobody at Epcot. There's nobody there. This is what's said by Lorena Creole, friend of the channel. We admire greatly. The crowd levels are definitely much lower than they used to be for the 4th. She said, I've been going to Disney for the 4th of July since I was a kid. That was a tradition for my family. And for a lot of families in the Northeast, 4th of July was when you went down to Disney to visit relatives. It was a huge time to visit the parks. Literally, oceans of humanity on the 4th of July. She went on to describe that there just wasn't that many people. Look, this is an image from the 4th of July via Lorena Creole and her live stream. So I'm here to tell you, folks, I think the changes. I think Tiana's Bayou Adventure. What an embarrassment that you've got Tiana's Bayou Adventure coming out in the same month that your crowd levels crater. What a horrible embarrassment. But this is what's happening to the stock, and this is what people need to know about. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money, and I'm not here to help you in any way with financial decisions. But in this brief video today, I just wanted to come through and say that if you're not paying attention to what's going on with the theme parks, then I don't think you understand what's going on with the stock. And if all you're doing is paying attention to Inside Out 2 and to the Acolyte, folks, we cover that stuff, and we cover it to great detail, right? Inside Out 2 is Pixar's most financially successful movie ever, although qualitatively, it's rather average. But folks, I'm here to tell you, those are drops in a bucket compared to the money that Disney World is responsible for. It is the engine that drives the company. At all costs, Disney should protect Disney World. The revenues there are bonkers. But what has been done in Japan is now beginning to damage the Sunshine State's happiest place on Earth. And folks, that is why investors should take notice. That's what we're bringing to you on notice. If you've been watching this video, you see what we're talking about. Why in the world is Disney empty in the summer of 2024? Epic Universe might just drive this even lower in the year to come. All right, folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
You better hang on to your feathers, little bird. They need to put you in the show.
What? Jose, what are you listening to? You don't even have ears.
Vacation Radio 24/7. Original music on YouTube. Vacation Radio. WDW Pro Music Channel.
I have no idea what you're saying. But if you want to be listening to music, you should head over to Vacation Radio 24/7 on YouTube, one of the 100 other channels WDW Pro's been working on. Oh, and I have a song for you, Jose. Jose Cowabunga. He is Jose Cowabunga.
He's Jose.
That one seems a little bit foreign to you.